Hey, what up? It's Guido. So I'm playing Dark Pact Necromancer as my league start at this league. And I wanted to make a video to share my experience and maybe use some tips of what I'm doing with my build right now. So overall, the build is playable. That's my feeling right now. It's not great. It's not great, but now it feels like it might be okay as well. There was a part where I struggled a lot, especially early maps. Like it was very sad. But no, biggest reason was that I haven't played minions. I didn't even practice this build or anything. I wasn't sure about the setup, so I changed it a lot, and now it feels alright. Now it feels alright. We'll see how it goes beyond this, moving forward. But I'm feeling pretty good now. I'm gonna continue, and some other problems I had in early maps is that I was too squishy. That's why I had also changed the setup, and clear speed felt clunky and slow, but that also solved that in a sense right now. I will show you how it's done. And I finished acts in 10.5 hours. I'm not a speedrunner, just regular player more or less. And that was kinda a little bit more than I usually do, or around something I'd done before. So I felt the clear speed was worse, but it wasn't that bad actually. I mean leveling speed. And one big tip from me when you're clearing is to use the self-cast Dark Pact. Don't cast it, you know, I mean, if you use Dark Pact early, cast it on yourself. Like that's my biggest, because the damage is pretty good. And if you get the life on kill node in the tree, I'll show you a little bit later, then you can two-shot. You move in, ping ping, a white monster's dead, and you regen or steal the life back with percent life on kill. So that's pretty good. And then use skeletons and bosses. So that was when I started doing that made the clearing faster and then more comfortable. And another tip is to not, when you're doing the skill tree, I copied someone else's build, and there was crit, spect, and some part I realized when I was lacking some damage, I was like, oh, you know what, crit is not worth specking right now at all, like, because the thing about crit is that when you stack crit chance, we have high crit chance, and then the multiplier is multiplied, and like it makes sense because you crit a lot, and it's kind of like when you have both of those factors, then it makes sense to invest in crit. But when you're starting, you will not have like Assassin's Mark or Good Wand with crit chance and whatever, so it will not stack as good. So I would suggest skipping crit nodes at first and trying to pick up something else. So let's talk about clearing maps. At first, the biggest reason why I was clearing slow at first is because I had kind of the wrong approach, because intuitively you would think that it makes sense to, like, you see some opponents, you summon minions, right, and then you pack them, and they just run at the opponents, and they're like, okay, and then you pack them, and then they kill them, right? Intuitively, at the beginning I felt that's the best way how to clear, right? Because it's safe, the minions have feeding frenzy anyway, so they're gonna run at them, and it's easy. But in practice, it doesn't work that way, and the best way that I found clearing maps is that to actually run in, see monster pack, you run around it, and then you spawn skeletons in the middle. Like if you see a monster pack, spawn in the middle, and then you Dark Pact them. Because if you spawn them at the few stats from here, then the Dark Pact is gonna kill the first ones, and then you have cast again, they're gonna move slowly. But if you run in, put in the middle, and the pack is dead basically. That's how I found the clearing is better, but you have to watch out because it's more dangerous to clear this way. So that's why I also went a little bit more survivability with the build, so that I can actually run in. And that's also one of the reasons I'm actually using Withering steps, so I can run in fast. I don't know, burst at, I see minions, boom, packed, and dead. Another reason why I went for the Withering step is because this build doesn't really have boss issues. Like, clearing bosses feels okay. So the biggest reason, biggest problem is actually clearing. So another approach for Wither will be to use the totems, spell totems, so that they will cast Wither, and that's really good, especially for bossing, because it stacks the Withers a lot more. It's more consistent. But in my experience, I found that the Withering step is kind of enough. You can run in, cast on the boss, it will get stacks, a little bit more damage, and it will do fine. It's way more useful when clearing maps, and you can also run in faster, maybe wither some rare or magic monsters on the way, so you can clear them all easily. So I played and that feels a lot better. And another thing I wanted to mention about clearing is what I learned kind of slowly, is that the Dark Pact has a lot of like delay. You know, it's chaining 4 times, and sometimes I felt like I drop in skeletons and nothing dies, and then I cast again, what's going on, and then everything dies. But the thing is that you have to like get the feeling of how much damage you need. You can't really see it because it's not like slap, but you just cast, and then you have to trust that this is going to kill monster, pop, move on. So you bang, boom, and you move on, and you're like, oh, this is probably going to die. If it doesn't die, you probably need to get more damage so that you can one-shot at least normal packs. At least should be one-shot monster normal packs with this strategy. So let's go over the gear that I have and sockets that I'm using right now, because I'll probably switch around, but this is I'll tell you what I'm thinking right now, and you'll be able to make your own adjustments. So this is my gear, nothing too big. I'm happy about the shield though, that's pretty cool. And first thing is that I'm not using Petrified Blood. Like in theory it sounds nice, you can use Pain Attunement, and you have quite a lot of energy shield, some recovery, whatever. It makes sense that you kind of could have more damage, but I felt that this is one of the biggest reasons I struggled in maps, is when I started maps, because I was using Petrified Blood, and that really made my survivability just so bad. It just felt like it's like something hits me, it's like claps me dead, like nothing, I couldn't survive anything at all. One of the reasons, of course, is that I don't have any energy shield or armor, which are kind of strong. You kind of need that, and I don't have any of that, and my block is also not that great. It's 30-30. Of course, I have not been able to do the 3rd lab. I'm just starting. I did a couple of red maps. I'm starting in yellow maps. I've done like 3 red maps, and I'm mostly in yellow maps. So I don't have the offering yet, so I need to have some kind of other defense, or I can't use Petrified Blood basically. But instead, what I'm using instead of Petrified Blood is I'm actually using Zealotry, and I'm using Skitterbots, and I'm using also Discipline and Clarity. And the reason, and now I feel quite survivable. I've been able to level to 85. This is day 3. It's a Monday morning, so that's pretty good. And I achieved that by speccing all of the reservation nodes, taking increased mana efficiency here, and also I have taken the mana efficiency for Clarity. So Clarity has 100% increased mana reservation efficiency. It's like cuts the cost in half. And the reason I'm using Clarity is to sustain mana, because I don't have a lot of mana. I'm not using any mana flask. And another cool reason that I can use another flask that gives me, for example, evasion, or just phasing with spell suppression, or maybe onslaught. Maybe I should actually switch for some defensive flask, to be honest. But as you can see, I can sustain my mana easily with Clarity. If I didn't have Clarity, that wouldn't be the case. I wouldn't be able to sustain. So that's and this will also allow me in future, hopefully, to use some other auras. I'm planning maybe to somehow put in Grace into this. That would make my survivability really good. I could also spec the Ghost Dance if I had that, and that would also help me a lot, I think. But I think I'll try to do it when I have clusters, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Also spec this one. I kind of needed the 8%. If I got something on the gear, it will be really nice, because you could not spec this one, 'cause it doesn't really give that much. Then I'm using meat shield for my Spectres. I don't think it's necessary. I haven't tried to not use it, but I really need that to keep the Spectres close, because I have one of the Spectres is using proximity shield. And the reason the proximity shield is actually really good in this league, because what I do with proximity shield is I use that to go into Scourges. So my strategy is that you have to wait for this guy to cast it, because it's like a couple of seconds up, couple of seconds down. So I usually wait when he gets his proximity shield up. Right now, summon skeletons, Dark Pact them, and then I go into the Scourge. So I have to summon skeletons next to me, and start Dark Pacting already, so that when I go into the Scourge, the Dark Pacts are already going to quickly burst something down, or burst all the monsters down that are close to me, and everything else around me that is not close, it's basically not gonna hit me, because I have proximity shield. So it's very strong to enter like this into Scourge. Also, remember to use your bone armor, so you also get some additional defenses. And also, I'm also using the Convocation just to make sure that maybe a hell or something, the minions come next to me and the proximity shield is there. So that's very important as well. Then I'm using faster casting for skeletons. Kind of feels really clunky if you don't have it. Oh, I don't want to destroy that. And this is much smoother. I probably have to replace this with Empower later on. That would really suck. But we'll see. Maybe I don't get Empower and I don't have to replace that. And I'm also using actually Arcane Surge on my links here. Other options would be probably to go crit, but I'm not ready. I don't have everything set up, or all the nodes, or all the passive skills, or anything to go fully crit. So I think Arcane Surge is a really good option here. Gives very good damage, and I don't really have another place to trigger Arcane Scourge, and also probably helps me with the mana, because as you see, I'm not using any mana flask, and I still sustaining mana there. As for Spectres, as you saw, one of the Spectres, probably the main one, is the proximity shield Spectre. The other Spectre is Carnage Chieftain. It gives frenzy charges. It's kind of it's kind of annoying that these guys sometimes don't cast it when nothing is happening. They need to see kind of minion, and then they only cast it. That's why I have 2 of them right now. So sometimes I get frenzy charges, which is kind of okay. But I'm planning to get the other Day of Tool guy that you can get from Tool Breaches, or actually I'm not sure how to get those guys, because I tried from Breaches, like kind of spectering something, or maybe I'll figure out something how to get them. But I know that there's a reliable way when you get Tools Breachstone, but I'm solo cell phone, I can buy that. That kind of sucks. So it's hard for me right now to get that, but that will be really good. It just gives you a bunch of damage reduction. I'll link links below to PoE database, so you can check out all the Spectres that I'm using and I'm planning to use. And I think I'm gonna replace the Stone Golem, by the way. I don't think I'm gonna use Stone Golem. I think it will do the physical damage reduction, Stone Golem. But we'll see. I was making the video, I realized maybe that is a good idea. Let's go over the skill tree a little bit and what masteries have picked. So Discipline has increased mana reservation efficiency, so I'm gonna squish everything in here. This is only for reservation, good block, and I think also the damage. Yeah, some damage here. Then Mana Leech. I'm not sure about this one, but feels pretty good. It's like doubles your mana. Energy Shield Reach. This is really strong. Recover life on kill is actually so strong. So that's really nice. Some life and 50 life. I haven't picked anything for those. Doesn't feel like there's anything that great. I'm keeping this crit node because it also has attack speed, cast speed, so that's kind of good. Minion survivability. Not 100% sure if I need that right now anymore. So minion life, that's core to the build. I have picked this up for stats. Yeah, actually another reason why I don't use Petrified Blood is because you need 150 strength to actually use it efficiently, because if you, it's just like, it's no levels. 105, it's like level 6 petrified blood. It's really shit. I take so much damage, so that's why I also didn't use petrified blood. And I also will need dexterity, so I kind of too much stats requirements for petrified blood, I feel like. So I didn't pick up these crit nodes, for example. Like, it's like 1 or 2% for these ones. It's like block chance. I have lucky cluster jewel with dexterity, intelligence. I mean strength and dexterity for stats. Then I haven't picked these up yet, but this is, I'm probably going to pick these up because I'm kind of using Wither. We'll see. Chaos resistance here. All the other ones don't feel like really too strong for me right now, so that's mandatory. Then here I have block chance. It's pretty good, 5% block chance. Block nodes. I have picked on this up actually. This node I actually picked up so that I can have 30% reduced extra damage from critical strikes from monsters. Like that's the main reason I'm still using this one. So I think that's really strong. Here I haven't picked up any life because I don't feel like anything is kind of good right now. And of course this reservation, and I'm planning to take these 2 points now for basically increased damage for myself because of this node. And then I'm planning to, I guess, pick these nodes up, maybe pick up these ones, and after I maybe get some better gear, I might start to respec the nodes that I just talked about into some kind of cluster jewel nodes. That's one of the ideas. Or the other one is maybe I should then I'll go to do crit. And that's it for me. I hope this was useful for you. Hope you're having fun in your league start, and see you some other time. Bye bye.